not the Corki this time around, so you would stack too much magic damage on your side, and therefore Origin
Things are gonna
setting
get
up for it. They're gonna take it against the Gangplank and see what they can do. They have a strong 2v2 up in that lane. And Reynov is most likely gonna go for Gragas, unless he wants the Rex side, try and match a little bit more of the early game.
A little bit of difficult engage on the side of Origin. Glacial Fissure, the fish from Fizz, the cocoon. If Fnatic are awake enough, they may be able to dodge some of those skill shots. And to round out their team composition, does Rain ever go to a staple, Gragas or Rek'Sai, something he's played a lot of in the past?
Well, don't care, Tahm Kench.
Okay.
Look here at what Fnatic are doing. They see Tristana, they see Elise. Okay, that is single target focus from Origin. They're expecting Fizz, who's obviously going to connect his ulti onto one target. The Tahm Kench is here to say, oh, you want to single out one of our guys? Whoop, eat him, whoop, soak up all the damage. Oh, doesn't even take the damage.
Devour a Kayle jungle then?
No.
Okay.
Basically, stop Origin from taking down a single target. When they land a cocoon, when they have the Tristana lining up, and Reynov want to match them early game.
This is interesting. Reynov says, I will forgo the fact that I usually play tanks or Fnatic. I will take a stylistic detour by becoming another damage source. Maybe that's why they got the Tahm Kench. Is the only tank in this lineup. So it'll be Tahm Kench instead, but Fnatic historically haven't. I wonder how they will do. Not the natural balance of the team compositions has been thrown off a little bit.
First time that they have played a jungle in Italy all summer. If anybody watched the Jat22 on Fnatic, he brought this up as a potential weakness, and it's exactly like we've said on the desk. The fact that you've got that poke damage dealer from the jungle and not the front line, it didn't work for Fnatic in game 1 when he went full AP Elise.
But it's also the fact that Fnatic just respects the power of a Gangplank. Get him to the early game. How? Get a strong 2v2 if it's even lanes. What do you need for a strong 2v2? Well, you need a strong jungler against Elise. Very interesting dynamic. Especially who just gets the first jump. Who pounces first?
Yeah.
You know, who's the Han Solo and who is the other half Fnatic?
Guido is the name you're looking for.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just set you up for that. 6 StarCraft knowledge.
No, don't start that. Don't start that. So,
Actually, forgot the name.
Game 4. Fnatic, if they win, they clinch that first place seed. If Origin win, we go to the deciding game. For the first time, we will be seeing Reignover on Nidalee and a support Tahm Kench from Yellow Star. You guys know what to do at home. You guys in Stockholm know what to do in the arena. Let's find out who you think will be winning this match. I'm not afraid to say, I hope Origin do, because I want Silver Scrapes. I want game 5. But Origin have to overcome 2 losses now in a row.
Imagine if this was the final game of the World Finals. We get a Fnatic Tahm Kench skin.
Nobody. I mean, Tahm Kench. This is one of the beautiful things, though, when we're on a playoff patch, obviously for multiple weeks, is that you see all the new things rise, like the Elise come up, and then you see some counters coming in. And in this case here for Fnatic, they've very clearly been saying when Elise is in the game, we know there's going to be a lot of single target focus due to the cocoon, and then just burst down that one target. Tahm Kench is there to counter it, obviously.
Also just allows you to deny concussive blows by being procced on a Braum. You know, save your AD carry. A lot of options.
His use of ulti, though, in these fights is going to be very strange to watch because, yes, okay, Huni can go into the backline, but he has decent range with the barrel, so he doesn't necessarily need to get teleported in behind the enemy lines. So I don't think we're going to see Yellow Star, unless Fnatic obviously gets super far ahead, really use it aggressively.
But there's another traditional weakness to a Fnatic's composition. Very lacking in the engage department. A lot of conditional engage, no hard CC. I think the only really hard CC they have is Tahm Kench proccing the third tongue lash and then stunning. Are these connected? I don't think so.
2 of them will be, we can see. So Huni's gonna hit the Crooks once, proc the passive, then he's gonna hit the barrel, reset it. Obviously the last one up there, he's gonna have to pull the minions over if he wants the damage. There we go, gets the reset, and now he can proc another one.
Fade away barrel.
So it's very, very quick now. Nidalee as well is fantastic at early clearing the jungle, so she can very early get on the map and start ganking. We see Source on the top side.
He pulled a wave.
He pulled the wave, so it's going to slowly push down towards him, while Huni then is double junkling, where he's going to recall after he takes the damage for Reynov. So Reynov's going to be full HP, he can gank early. Amazing is starting on his own.
I love
so many stacks.
Look at the on-hit effects. I love it. Tahm Kench trying to get that acquired taste onto Mythi, and we get those standard lanes again.
So very clear strategy from Origin. They send Soaz to do the same thing that Huni did, as we see this trade here in the bot lane. So many stacks being poked at both sides. But I just want to talk about what's going to happen next. Soaz went into the lane, pulled the wave into the top lane. Then he has Amazing with a very well-sustained jungle that can just power farm his way up to the top lane and guarantee an easy gank. Yellowstar going aggressive here, but he is, after all, Tahm Kench, and it is very predictable what's going to go on. I think we might see some explosion ganks in the top lane if Amazing chooses to pass there, but he seems to change it up and go for a gank on the bot lane.
Very, even skipping the Rift Scutter. So if Nidalee comes down to see, okay, it's still live, you're not gonna then call Elise is on the bottom side. So he's baiting out a little bit there, jumping in on Tahm Kench.
And the Cocoon connects. Yellowstar tries to flash away. He will give up first blood.
He can't eat himself. Tahm Kench drops a beautiful adaptation. Everybody in this game expected Amazing to go top lane, myself included, but he just strolls around. Origin was doing a good job watching where Fnatic were warding in that lane, just completely exposed, and this is a fantastic gank. So much to see coming out of Braum and Elise. And so as he's safely farming because he pulled the wave in the top lane.
I just really love how he skips the Rift Scuttler to give the illusion, hey, I haven't been nearby this bottom side in case Reinover goes down to spot and take it down himself. You can see he now cleared it near the dragon, and then the slow Tahm Kench, very easy to engage onto him. Beautiful setup from Origin, getting that first spot up top here.
Yellowstar forced to roam with a no boots Tahm Kench to just get some control of the map right here. Reinover is going to find Amazing.
And he's going to connect to the Javelin toss. Very early repel up. Reinover will get caught by the Cocoon.
Mythi's coming though.
Smiters out. Here comes Yellowstar. So 2-on-2 with junglers. The top laners have joined the fight as well. Fnatic have decided they want to commit for the blue steel. And it doesn't look like Origin may be able to steal it back. There is a smite up for Amazing, so this could come down to a smite fight. Secured by Reinover.
Once again, though, both teams on the same page. Support's roaming, Soaz coming in.
He has the barrel. That's going to hurt if it gets popped. It's still alive. One more tick is required. Is available. Another kill over to Origin, and it goes to Elise. Huni gets caught by the concussive blows. He eats an orange, but it's not okay. It's not okay because he's caught out between two members of Origin. He's going to keep running. One more auto attack will secure the kill. Fnatic get one, but lose two.
Feven had the push advantage in mid, but he didn't peel off mid soon enough. That collapse came out, and in these small number skirmishes, Braum is so incredibly strong because he can just apply his passive on multiple members and provide well-timed, predictable CC. So hard to play around that, and it's so easy to land them, especially in choke points.
Braum and Elise together, locking down targets. We have the early game damage. 3 kills now for Amazing. Last time he played it was the semi-final where they played against H2K. He got his hands on Elise. He got 4 early kills. It looked fantastic. I was about to say it looked amazing for Origin. And then...
But we don't do bad puns at this desk, do we?
Clearly not.
Clearly not. Maybe 1 or 2.
Can I finish the point, though? What happened? You got 4 kills, and then you just stopped the story.
Well, then he kind of went full solo queue with the rest of Origin, and they gave H2K so many kills, and suddenly probably was very happy because they won the game.
That's an important part of the story, Deficio.
Kinda.
You can't drop the follow-up or the pun. But we do see Huni up in the top lane, continues to farm up with that powder keg. He's got an advantage over Soaz, thanks to the early jungling help and some of the lane pressure. That Soaz is going to assist on the board.
Soaz just warded. The ward was pinged, though, by Reinover. He spots it with his Oracle, provided by Raptors. Moves away. Soaz survived the gank. That's all that ward was there for. Dodge 1 gank. Get out of 1 fail free card. Now he can just safely farm. He is pressured a little bit, though, so wait for Huni to push him in the top lane. Bot lane, might see more trades coming out now with the small advantage gained by Mythi over the map.
I'd like to watch these trades as well. Yellowstar got a point in all of his core abilities. I want to see what he scales up. He's going to be looking for. Got that tongue lash, but as we said, very telegraphed approaches between both Braum and Tahm Kench, playing around their respective 3 and 4 hit trigger passives.
Would assume after the Q changes that he's going to max that for a little bit more poke in this lane here. Obviously, it's not going to be about the bottom lane for Fnatic. It's going to be about making sure Huni can keep having this advantage and scale into the late game. On the Gangplank, we have seen how strong he is. And when he's against champions who tend to build Frozen Heart, like a Fizz would normally do, there's another thing you can. Eat him in.
Yeah, that's actually a cool interaction. Tahm Kench Devour denies.
That's dedication. You guys are epic LCS fans. As Tahm Kench denies.
Denies. Trying to finish my story here. But yeah, protection is needed on your ears.
A single target.
But yeah, the Tristana E gets applied on top of some target, but then it's an AoE explosion. If you use the Devour, it denies the explosion and just simply doesn't trigger anymore. So definitely a cool interaction right there. Kind of, in addition to that, just allows Tristana to stop, not even hit the target anymore. So it denies the resets too. So Very good defensive mechanic. However, Tahm Kench is kind of lacking in the offensive department. If ever these cooldowns on teleport go down and they're reused, then we can see perhaps Niels jumping in aggressively, Braum following him, applying concussive blows, and then getting some aggression. The problem with this lane is that it used to be so strong because you had so much offensive potential. Teleport just shuts that down, in addition to the Gangplank ulti on the top lane.
Talking about the offensive capabilities, Febiven in the middle lane, only trying to deal with the shove from Xpeke. He was pushed in quite deep, and both of these mid laners have been very quiet during the laning phase because there's been so much about the jungle interaction on the side lanes, despite a few ganks here and there. But both have shown in the mid to late game just how important they can be. It was Febiven's Victor as well in the late game to help beat Origin's Twisted Fate. If given enough time, that Victor is terrifying.
Well, it's been the story of both mid laners all split long. The teams in the early game, they play around the side lanes. You want to get that top lane ahead so he can use that teleport to apply pressure on the bottom side, or you want to gank for the bottom lane to enable your support to roam or set up potential dragons. And again, I think he's been a little bit early there.
Yep.
So damage was applied onto Reckless. But again, this is going to be the farm lane. Both junglers, after looking for early ganks, Amazing got 3 kills. It's slowed down on the map. Every single lane just trying to fight it out between each other, and we're just waiting to see where Amazing or Rainover puts the focus.
Well, Soaz is going to jump onto Huni. Chum the Waters is connected. Huni puts down the cannon barrage. The 1v1 happens, and it's Soaz that takes down the overpowered Pirates.
So there's the thing about the new Gangplank here. You don't max your orange anymore. That was the thing about the old one. Let's see what happens here. Rainover,
The cocoon!
he's on his own.
Rainover's in trouble. Amazing's going to run him down with red buff and chilling smite. Soaz may want the kill credits. The Trickster secures it, and that's a 2-kill fishy fish.
So basically what Fizz can do is he can all in the Gangplank. You don't max the orange, you don't get that sick amount of health back as you used to do. Now
Sorry,
TP the bottom
Fisho,
lane.
I'm going to cut you off. Abyssal Voyage is being channeled. Yellow Star's trying to dissuade Origin from getting away. Powder Keg goes down, but Yellow Star's going to use that thick skin to stay alive. Huni's going to look for one more parlay flash. Parlay gets a kill.
That was an interesting Abyssal Voyage. Nobody wanted to jump on the Tahm Kench train because they were all chasing Mithy. Overall, teleport nets a kill, but no pressure in the top lane. We have teleport available on Soaz. Is he going to react in time?
Well, Soaz has started to channel it. Huni takes a couple of hits. Soaz does not have Chum the Waters. Respecting the Powder Keg, sidesteps the second one that comes down, but used teleport for that failed attempt.
So Huni just wanted to start the dive to force the TP and then back away instantly. It was very clear Fnatic didn't want to commit forward, but Amazing is still pushing the top wave because he got that kill from before.
Origin will be happy with this overall though, because if the lane goes back to 2v2, hang on, Huni.
Well, Huni's going to get devoured. Yellowstar has the option to regurgitate. I think he had the Hex Drinker shield from inside. Soaz is still looking for a fight. A few more seconds for Chum the Waters. Tries to get away with Playful Trickster. Is going to get eaten alive. It's fish on fish sushi battle, and Yellowstar's the victor.
One of those mistakes Soaz cannot do. He got baited. The heal from Huni in the very end ends up dying. You saw him just stop, be like, all right, fine. You guys win, you get the kill. Does mean Fnatic now, even though they suddenly started losing a few kills here and there, it's a very important one back. Soaz gets shut down a little bit, and Dragon going over to Fnatic early on. Mithy coming down to check.
Cheeky little sidestep from Febiven, forcing him to at least preserve his cleanse. Some roam spotted from Mithy. Can we see the aggression that we were waiting for in the bot lane right now? Now the teleports are down, Gangplank ulti is available, but so much aggression can come out, and honestly, Braum Tristana can wreck this lane 2v2 at this point in the game.
So another game, we see exciting starts, interesting starts, and then slightly sloppy dives and plays. It ends up not really hurting either team significantly. Origin's got a tower, Fnatic's got a dragon, but they're still even in gold. And we still see Huni farming up. Now down bottom, Mithy and Niels were hiding themselves, but they've got a BF sword and a pickaxe already. So very comfortable laning phase for Niels Tristana.
And Rainover right now really giving up that early pressure he had, or he potentially could have had against Amazing, because he's falling behind. So he's going Rod of Age instead of Abyssal Scepter, normally what you do against a Magic jungler like Elise. So he's going to scale up a little bit more, be Bruiser-ish. It's okay for the late game, but he gives up a lot of early game now.
Yeah, Rainover has been spotted. He was pinged on one ward, so they know the ward at the top left side here on your screen. Soaz going aggressively. Huni gets popped.
Well, there's the Powder Kick. Chum the Waters comes out. Huni's going to go down. Amazing hops in spider form, and Soaz is 3, 2, and 1.
It's so easy for Soaz to connect his ulti onto Huni here and just all in against him. He doesn't have the heal to stay alive, and once the ulti hits, well, the extra damage applied from Soaz means he can all in for now. There's no Trinity Force yet, there's no crit yet. There's gonna be a while for Huni before he can restart using that.
And Fnatic's plan, locking in Italy to have the stronger 2v2 top lane, isn't really working. 5 deaths out of their 6 have been on that jungler top laner combination.
Look at that mini-map. I'm so nervous for Fnatic. If they commit for this, Origin have the support. But they do not. Pink Ward Wars. Victory to Fnatic. They're down a little bit of gold thanks to the kills.
So he's gonna take that top tower down. Unless it was already down from before, so I'm lying to everyone. Very sorry for that one. He's just gonna take the farm. Now we are gonna see a fight in the bottom lane though.
There's the cannon barrage. It's coming out. We did see the stand behind me. Mithy jumps to Niels. And is able to get away. So an ultimate blown. Nothing much more.
Very forced plays coming out of Fnatic overall, and the lack of engage on their composition is really hurting them. Unless they can really predict their skill shots or really close in with flanks, or just deny access to objectives, they're really having a hard time finding openings in this match so far. Compared to that with Origin, very straightforward, point and click, you know, Fish goes out, Cocoon comes out, Braum passive, Glacial Fissure, so much, a wealth of CC on the Origin lineup. And Fnatic, yeah, they have damage, but they're having a hard time landing it.
And thanks to all the magic damage threats from Origin, Huni was forced to pick up an early Hex Trinker, so it can delay that Trinity Force, can delay that Infinity Edge. That has made both previous versions of Gangplank this series as successful and as powerful as they were.
And Soaz, 14 minutes Trinity Force, 3 early kills. Not been farming that well because there's been a lot of action going on up in that top lane. Farming the champion chase, farming Huni at the moment with the 3 early kills. And we see Yellowstar once again trying to roam on top side.
And not many people can say that they farmed the Huni in their life. Not successfully, at least.
Great
Soaz
dodge.
wants to do it again. Chum the Waters is up. And whoa, not done yet. Yellowstar's come to save. Okay. Yellowstar, he's going to try pick this fight,
army of minions as well.
Wait, the Ignite is here. Thick Skin would block some damage, but Yellowstar, without the minions, doesn't continue the fight.
So once again here, Soaz, he's using his trickster in when he's engaging, so he dodges the barrel of damage for Huni. He's a little bit too quick at shooting that barrel here, so he doesn't get any damage really onto him, and then he gets all in again and again and again. Yellowstar's back though.
Flanker Z from Yellowstar gets 1 proc.
Is he going to find more? The Thick Skin's charging. Tongue Lash does not connect. The Cocoon will catch. Playful Trickster out. Soaz is in full retreat. We do see Rainover. He wants to chase. Chilling Smut. That Tongue Lash connects. Yellow needs 1 more, and he eats him. The Catfish gets the Assassin Fish. Mithy and Niels, they will get a tower down bottom at the cost of Soaz's life up top.
Yeah, Catfish catching a fish, but overall, they still lose their tower in the bot lane. Niels
I wish I thought of that.
Yeah, I just wanted to show that the pun was there, pretty much. Mission over, Deficio, go.
Oh, he's just putting all the pressure on me.
Yeah. Analyze this match.
Well, we're having some fun with this one, obviously. Origin off to a great start. They got their second tower to 0. Fnatic unable to secure any yet. And Amazing's doing a good job at defending their top outer turret as well.
Blue steal here from Origin. A few times they actually steal away a blue from Fnatic. Fnatic is putting a lot of pressure on the blues. Unluckily, this doesn't go to expect it though. He still wants that blue buff available.
And I feel like it was 10 minutes ago we talked about those mid laners. Since then, Athene's and Blasting Wand, we see the makings of a Luden's Echo for Febiven, a different item build. That's what we saw previously as well.
And we just keep seeing how Soaz now up in his top lane. Full pressure, Huni has to just run away. He knows he can get all in, so now it's about what Fnatic can do on the other side of the map. You got globals from the Gangplank. Reckless is gonna take the bot lane tower. This is what they need to play around. Once again though, despite giving up some early kills, they're keeping very even in gold.
Let's see if Fnatic want to put any pressure on this dragon, start warding up, maybe control the vision, force Origin to face check. That's what they did early in the series when one of their members was behind. They started grouping up, you know, try to deny that advantage that Soaz has 1v1 and force him into a team fight. However, they're a little late. Reckless is already being pushed in by Niels in the bot lane. Rainover's on the other side of the map. So this might be an easy dragon pickup for Origin.
Well, Fnatic really wants Luden's Echo completed for February and make his spike a little bit stronger. The movement speed is insane as well with the Q upgrade, which comes in later for the Victor. And you can kite around very effectively, get in range to land the damage on the backline. Dragon right now, slowly but surely going down for Origin. Again, realizing that Fnatic is not exactly in the mood to fight right now.
It's one of the few times in this entire series that Fnatic has barely any deep vision in Origin's jungle. One ward behind the Dragon Pit, that's all they have, so being pushed out. And that is because Reignover is yet again going for a non-sidestone build on this Nidalee. See, very hard to incorporate that in the Nidalee. He's going a lot of Aegis though.
This is always the sacrifice when you play Nidalee. You don't get Locket on your jungler and you don't get Sidestone. It simply slows down your effective build too much. You need AP, you need to be strong. And when we go to late game in terms of your poking and your heal coming in, the Rod of Ages, we mentioned it earlier, how it's him giving up the early game pressure versus the Elise by not going the Abyssal Scepter. But it does mean he can scale a little bit better into late game.
The sole reason he did pick that champion seemed to be the early pressure, and that is really punishing Fnatic right now. 0-2 on Reignovers, 1-4 on Huni, so 6 death. Combined, only one more on somebody else in that roster, so very heavy top focus from Origin is paying off in this game.
Yeah, especially when you see Amazing 3-0-2, so as 4-3-1. Amazing, also slightly different build on that Elise. No Sidestone, went for a second item Rylai's somewhat farming. And look at the siege from Origin. They're going to try to
deny the laser. That's what I love about this combination. You deny the laser, but then you have to be careful for the re-engage. Laser comes up quicker. Ulti gets used on Amazing.
So the wild growth will keep Amazing alive, and he's going to be able to get away. I think that was the Buster shot that knocked him away. We are going to see an acquired taste.
Whoa.
Wow, that's a kill. I didn't expect that burst from Reckless. They didn't even get the tower. Amazing, forced to flash defensively. It's not over yet. The Javelin doesn't connect. Chilling Smite comes out. Soaz is looking for his 5th kill, and Chum the Waters won't even be needed. The Killer Whale will not be enough. We did see the Chaos Storm come down from Victor, and that shuts down Amazing. A 1-for-2 trade, but Soaz continues to get fed.
We see these very slow starts to the fight because, again, there's no real engage on the side of Fnatic, who wanted to stop Origin from pushing in. I mean, the same we can almost say for Origin here. It's going to be about the flanks coming in, chaining barrels for Huni to land a slow, and then you follow up with it. Another reason we might see this movement speed build for Fibrin, so he can make sure he can always catch up and land the damage. Source is sitting on the side here. Want to set up a flank. This tower is very low, so just 1 or 2 hits from Origin takes it down, and then he can go in, but he's on a ward.
And this time, they're sieging with the backup from Soaz in the flank. That's what they were lacking, and that's allowed Fnatic to re-engage, force them out of mid lane, open up their own mid lane, and then take the tower in the mid. So good punish by Fnatic. Things were looking good initially for Origin.
Yeah, and that actually gave Fnatic the lead again in this game. So here's a replay of that fight.
So we get to see the engage from Fnatic, but it is so difficult to commit to the back line of Origin. So at first, they get the disengage, but then we see their spear landing from Reignover and a rocket from Reckless give you the 1 kill. Then we follow up next. We get Source finally coming down. He saved his teleport. That can be big for the next few minutes. The fact that Huni used his. In the end, though, Fnatic gets a 2-for-1 trade.
For Fnatic, despite the trade of towers, they are in a good position. He's going to get hit by that Javelin toss. And look at the CS differences between Huni and Soaz. It is around 40, but with all of the kills that Soaz has secured, he's only got about a 500 gold lead, and that will continue to shrink as more towers fall. Fnatic continue to accelerate the gold lead, and Luden's Echo has been completed.
Yeah, Fnatic are doing a great job at masking this weakness that Huni has by just simply grouping up around him, using him in these pushes. They've now taken 2 towers in the span of 2 minutes. Only giving up that very low HP mid tower already, so to see if the reaction can come out from Origin. Waves cleared, Fish connects.
And that's a lot of damage. Febiven's in trouble. Soaz may be able to get him. The cleanse, though, is enough! And Febiven walks out!
Whoa! The stun as well for him. Flashing it first to dodge the E coming in for Fizz. Didn't want all that damage to connect, and suddenly Fnatic gets 2 kills. And it was Origin who started the dive. And Fnatic 3,000 gold ahead.
Febiven was the target, and after the play and the counterplay, it's Peke that goes down. Fnatic now have some time in this middle lane, uncontested, with no wave clear to worry about. This is going to be another tower.
Origin are trying to do too many things at once. Niels is split pushing in the top lane while his team members getting caught in the mid lane, in the jungle of the enemy, and just completely disjointed. Lineup here for Origin. Teleport comes in from Soaz. They need to keep him alive, but here's Febiven on the victor.
Well, let's see. What can Soaz and Niels do? The barrel is killed. Huni's trying to run away. If he gets a lucky crit, maybe it'll be enough. Sets up a barrel. Look at the bottom lane, though. The bottom lane, Reignover is pushing the inner turret. Origin are being spread too thin, and there are too many threats to deal with.
Just too many fights going on for Origin, and they're not winning them right now. So suddenly you always feel like you are in a numbers disadvantage on the map. Tower even goes down due to the minions. But yeah, once you start going for these dives and they backfire, it's very easy for Fnatic to split up and then push in so many different waves. Huni's gonna recall here. Source is waiting. The trap.
So as he's saying, I'm just gonna stand here and watch you farm, but Huni,
Oh, Huni,
he's
he's
gonna go for it. Does he want?
Got an
How,
orange. He's
how
feeling-
badly do you want that farm? Nope. Soaz doesn't.
feeling brave.
Cooney upgraded to fire at will on Cannon Barrage. He's at 60% HP. Remove Scurvy is going to be up in a few seconds. There's a little bit of healing in that, but not going to look for the fight. I really wanted it.
Yeah, we talked about this before. Fired will at first. It is a little bit less damage.
Shot
if
too
you
early though.
upgrade
Didn't pop the barrel.
at the early stages. Once you get the rank 3 ulti though, Fired will is going to be fantastic for him. But that's a lot later in the game. Also, last time he went for a third item, Last Whisper, which isn't exactly the greatest buy on a Gangplank early on. Let's see what he does this game. Now he already delayed Infinity Edge, and now he's gonna flash the fish.
Did flash the fish and gets away alive. Fnatic off, then going to try set up a counterplay
Oh,
in the
top
middle
catch
lane.
ulti,
The
hype.
Abyssal Voyage.
He's here.
He's going to be there
Ta-da!
just to show.
Oh, Tom Kench.
Fnatic continue to grow their gold lead. Look at that, chaining the power to kicks. Fnatic are now
Wait,
4,000
that
gold
what to get
up.
hyped about? Did you see that Tom Kench ulti?
They're looking for Soaz. They're looking for Niels. Soaz tries to make something of it. The kicks, they're connected. Huni decides to shoot the parlay onto Soaz. The barrels blow up. And it's Reckless that finds another one.
Fnatic overall just out-rotating Origin. Usually when a team commits so heavily to one side of the map, they lose pressure in the other side, but Fnatic is doing it at the correct timing, not allowing themselves to be exposed any other lanes. Look at the massive bot wave that was built up for Origin. They didn't incorporate that in their strategy. They were too greedy, too many things at once. They need to have more patience because otherwise they're yielding all these objectives. They might pick up a dragon right now, but that's only number 3 in the game, second one for Origin. Yeah, they're falling behind slowly, step by step, and they could be the final game in this series.
Really the key thing for Fnatic was they managed to get Huni away from Soaz. Soaz kept jumping him, kept killing him. Then we started seeing them move him away, put him into some team fights instead, because the Victor and the Corki has been fantastic. One of the reasons Victor is such a contested pick, because he just scales so well. Even in the mid game, he's insanely strong with just one item.
And it was those decisions that allowed Fnatic to build up that gold lead. They were never down more than around 2,000 gold on the scale. And yet they've accelerated to about 5,000, 6,000 gold since we've thrown it up. So very good play from Fnatic to shore up their weaknesses on the map and then punish Origin.
Now the pressure will be on Niels. OG have adapted some parts of Fnatic's strategy with the Jugger Tristana composition, buffing him up with the Lulu's shield. So he'll need to provide the damage, but somehow he needs to survive against 4 damage threats and the Tom Kench on Fnatic.
Yeah, and Yellowstar decided to max Devour on the Tom Kench. Had a few early ranks in the queue, I believe, for the lane, and then instantly went for Devour because, again, his job is saying, oh, you're going to single out one guy, I'm going to eat him, you're not going to kill him, and then suddenly we can reset the fight, or we can always re-engage now that suddenly we're going to have that Gangplank ulti coming in, applying the slow, and Raise Morale should come in second for Huni.
And Fnatic with textbook play, push out mid lane, move into Baron area, drop your pink wards, deny vision, move into mid lane again, push it out, then return to the Baron.
They need to pick
sweep the
inside,
pit
though.
I prefer just sweeping it on occasion. This bait is not going to work. Now we need some acting from OG. Fake face checks, buy some time. How long will it take for them to
Guys,
realize
come on,
this?
it's right there. They can't see it.
Baron's tippy toe is denying the vision.
Wow, that's fantastic. The
might
Baron
just
is
take
now
it then,
being
whatever.
focused down. The Baron will be dead before Origin can even get here. They rush it down so quick with all of their damage threats.
Yeah, sloppy mistake from Origin. It's not like they couldn't see it coming.
You gotta at least get a little bit close towards the Baron. They will respond with their mid tower, but that's a poor price.
Tower will be secured, but Fnatic now, the near insurmountable lead.
Yeah.
Gold, Baron, multiple lanes.
Baron needs a
Teleport as
pedicure.
well.
Otherwise, that vision angle, quite fishy. No? Fnatic do what Fnatic do. They get an early Baron. Again, full vision. Origin couldn't commit in time. They were feeling so safe with that ward that they kind of just got too much ahead of themselves, lost the Baron. Can Fnatic use this though to really capitalize? 7,000 gold Baron buff. Fnatic is so good at getting even more gold after they secure a Baron. Best team in Europe to do it, honestly, and they're gonna take down one tower, next tower, and siege.
And you got a great setup for it. Lulu is going to be the only wave clear coming in outside the static shift procs from the Tristana. Then obviously got to get that one kill for the explosive, but there is Baron buff minions. Here, Fnatic, you have so many ranged champions and then the barrels from the Gangplank to try and apply some poke, even though Huni did connect that one.
Yeah, he did connect them, but the Braum shield blocked the explosion. That's what Braum can do overall in this setup. But we need to look for a flank from Soaz.
see whether or not Soas can find that flank. Reckless takes a couple of hits from Niels. Niels working towards that Bloodthirster. The tower's not falling yet. Fnatic respecting the damage from Origin. And Matthew doing some good work with that Unbreakable Shield. But Fnatic are relentless.
We've highlighted how both comps lack engage. In this case here for Origin, you got to sneak the fish in behind.
Yeah.
And then you got to try and get onto the backline of Fnatic. But there's going to be wards spotting you everywhere.
No tanks on the side of Fnatic though. The only way to save them from single target damage, as we pointed out before, is the Devour. So keep your eyes on Yellow Star. Rifty denying some poke here.
Peke got chunked out. I think it was by a barrel. Look at that barrel damage now with the cannon barrage. Fnatic and a cannon minion get another big chunk of the tower down. But I think Origin are doing a great job of defending. The tower's still not fallen.
Very key for Origin. They kept that tower alive. Baron buff is going to slowly but surely run out now that all of Fnatic goes back to base. They say we don't want to overcommit for this one. Took a little bit of damage when they were dancing around the tower and they saw Soa sit there on the side. Feeling like there's no reason to take a risk, which really has also been the mentality for Fnatic for such a long time in this split. They're always aim for the low risk, high reward play. You don't have to go too over aggressive.
And they are one Nexus away from that guaranteed first place seed. If Origin lose, they will have to play 2 series in the regional qualifier to make it towards. They cannot get their championship points and probably will be celebrating along with the rest of H2K. Because if Fnatic do it, H2K are also guaranteed that seed at Worlds. That is what is at stake. And that is what Origin are trying to avoid.
And that means we will see Origin and the Unicorns of Love in that regional qualifier. And the other analysts we have here today, Yamato Cannons, or Rockets Yamato Cannon, won't be that happy because he did say he'd rather play against HK and Unicorns than Origin, because Origin so far, they're not looking the best, but it's against Fnatic. They're looking pretty great overall though.
They took a game off Fnatic and they've had elements of great play, but a few mistakes here and there has cost them, and in this game it's cost them a big lead.
They've definitely had the chance to take more than one game in this series here, but we have seen from both sides a few mistakes in there, and then we have seen two teams who are just very good at punishing each other. What I really like from both teams is how they've been on the same page, basically, for a lot of the early plays we've seen where they mirror each other, they try and counter each other.
The lack of overall armor, though, allows Niels to spec into a Bloodthirster, deal with some of this poke damage coming out because he doesn't need the last Whisper that early in the game. He wants to get those resets going. QSS picked up by Reckless, though. If he gets hit by Cocoon, in the fish, he can QSS out, Valkout, stay safe, deny the resets. It's all about survival here for Fnatic.
And then 30 minutes in, Huni has been able to finish his core items of Triforce Eye Edge. Fnatic are looking to get their second dragon, which will respawn shortly, but we're 2-2 in that regard if it gets secured. There's no aspect on the horizon. Baron has timed out, so yes, Fnatic still have a lead, but they don't have the tools to use that as effectively as they'd like.
When he gets tagged, has to flash. There was full vision control from Origin in the top side from Fnatic while they were setting up for that dragon. And he was forced to use his flashy. Barrels get destroyed, so...
Shut the minion. Next hit. He got some gold for it when he managed to play it out. Origin obviously seeing that dragon already went down, and now we see Tahm Kench ulti coming in and Reckless chasing Pekka again.
Let's see, Pekka has been able to find the defensive flash. Tongue Lash is going to be charmed. It's not going to get connected though. Javelin Toss will land an amazing. Rainover and Yellow Star decide they want to squash a spider. Devour to pull away Yellow Star. They committed a lot, but that's given time for Soaz.
Well, he's going to push in here. He knows Fnatic can move in behind him because his own team members just got forced back to base, but nobody's moving from Fnatic. They just saw them start the red buff. Soaz might be able to get a few hits on this tower before he has to go back. Look here. Now they're on their way on the side of Fnatic. Soaz is very quick at taking this down. Bladed Ruin King second for him.
There was some Origin pings onto the positions of Fnatic. Tower secured. Wow, Origin may even get a kill onto Yellow Star, and they do. The Tongue Lash and the Regurgitate doesn't matter. Chum the Waters is on Featherfin. That was a beautiful Urchin Strike, but it will not get him away from the burst. Featherfin just shuts Soaz down.
Stake from Fnatic though, keeping two guys in the jungle of Origin while the other two went back to stop Soaz here. Everyone just go back at the same time, get that one kill, and leave it at that.
Right now, it's okay to make these mistakes, but a minute from now, Baron is going to spawn again, and we need to see if Origin Fnatic to take that one as easily as they did before. Pekka finally going to get his hands on the few blue buffs he's had this series. Definitely needs that CDR coming out because he's building a lot of raw ability power. His CDR cap right now, though, so a lot of spammed utility. Has a teens Rabadons. Yeah, he's gonna hurt.
A slightly different build from Soaz. Here's Fizz this game. Triforce Blade. Got himself that Stinger for the time being. Really committed to looking for 1v1. I think we said in the previous game, those sort of squishy top laners, they're gonna die when they jump in, if I remember correctly.
But if Fnatic can get to this dragon here and start setting up vision around it, then Gangplank with his barrels becomes so annoying to deal with, because it's very easy for him to place them very defensive near the Baron itself, and then when you walk in to stop them from starting it, he can just chain them so effectively towards the backline. So let's see how Huni sets up for this objective, because Fnatic is definitely gonna aim for it, and we can see Origin this time around moving in way too early. Here's the first defensive one, and then he gets the first shot on Mythic.
Well, we do see Origin are in time to defend. They had full vision of the previous Baron, but simply acted too late. Fnatic are peeling around. They're using the vision to their control. Niels has that bloodthirst if he wants to try survive.
Right here, notice how Fnatic has 3 pink balls lined up, so Origin has barely any vision. They're gonna move away, engage coming.
Amazing is in trouble. He's gonna flash over the wall, continues to retreat. We see the Luden's Echo proc. That's from Febiven chunking down Origin. Where is Soaz? He's pushing the middle lane. Soaz may be committing to the inhibitor and not the fight. We see the auto attacks from Mithy coming down. Cannon barrage is out. Mithy's trying to be a front line. Glacial Fissure will split up the retreat path for Fnatic, but the Baron will be going down. That's secured by Fnatic. Soaz is pushing the middle lane. Empowered recalls. They're delayed, but not all.
Fantastic zone control by Fnatic, and just knowing when to pull that trigger finger. They might lose their inhibitor, but they don't, because somebody at least arrives in time. Soaz now has to get the hell out of there before he gets chunked down, but this is what Fnatic does best. Control an area in and out, accordion-wise. Don't overcommit to chasing the junglers. Just force the flash, turn on the Baron, and then good peeling zone control. Fantastic play.
And as soon as Origin didn't get to move to the Baron first and start setting up their own vision, we just saw triple pink ward coming in. Every single bush was pink warded from Fnatic, and then Victor, Gangplank, and so on. There's so many ways that you could punish if you move in to stop them. And that's why Origin backed away and said, you know what, if we can't engage in this one, it's going to be suicide. So they had to try and get something else.
And you have to question if that was going to be the case. Why not maybe one more person for that inhib? Soaz got it down to like 50-odd% before he's forced to retreat, and now Fnatic have another Baron to play with.
The main problem for me was how Origin didn't move into that Baron 30-40 seconds before. Because Fnatic had all come back to base, they were moving out. Origin was sitting in mid lane, they had time, but they allowed Fnatic to move in and set up that vision themselves, and then it becomes difficult.
Yeah, against the lineup that Fnatic has drafted for themselves, hesitation is simply the seed of defeat. You need to pull the trigger at once, or just simply don't commit and have a plan B available to just go for that mid lane, trade that inhibitor perhaps, stall the game out that way. But now Fnatic is sieging with that Baron buff, and they should be able to finally open up an inhibitor in this game.
We'll find out. Origin were able to defend the entirety of the previous Baron. They were able to wave clear, but there is more items, there are more damage. I took a quick look. Huni's got 950 Silver Serpents. He's actually forgotten to upgrade a second time, but it doesn't matter. That is a big powder keg. Origin are chunked down, and this will be the tower secured. Cannon barrage with fire at will. Raining rockets down. Fnatic get the tower. They will get the inhibitor. And this might be the opening that Fnatic need to win. Another split.
Once again, it's so tough for Origin to get an engage onto Fnatic. We see how Huni is lining up barrels, gets onto 2 or 3 guys, pops the ulti, and suddenly everyone just has to back away from this tower. It goes down. The engage is purely coming from Soaz being able to flank, and then maybe Mythy flashing forward, but it's not reliable.
I want to see more wards behind the Fnatic pushes so Soaz can teleport, flank somehow. Staying in your base just simply isn't worth it. You just allow yourself to get AoE'd. You need less members in the front, more members at the side, flank, pinch, pincer, something. Because otherwise Fnatic is just going to zone you out of that area and eventually straight up kill you.
Dragon is secured by Origin. They shredded that very, very quickly. Cocoon doesn't find a target, nor does the Javelin toss. Glacial Fissure comes down. Origin are thinking about the engage. Chum the Waters is onto the other fish in the game, but Huni's been able to teleport behind. He's looking for the crits. He's hurt Soaz, but he's not killed Soaz. Chain the kegs, doesn't find a target. Wow! Niels is going to be able to get a big hit down onto Huni. And Origin are in full retreat.
Peke went for Ardent Center, so he's basically going to be buffing up Nils as much as possible. They're putting all the focus on Nils in this game if you're Origin. Suddenly Source becomes more of a distraction. If he can take out a target in the backline, it is perfect for them. But it's about how fast can Nils take down whoever is running at him. There is no tank on the side of Fnatic other than the Tahm Kench. We can hardly call a tank in the late game. He will die fairly quickly, except for the fact his E is pretty strong.
Yeah, thick skin does definitely help in these high-pressure situations. However, if we go back to the start of the game, how far was Huni behind? How far was Reignover behind? And they were allowed, mostly due to the Fnatic's map movements, to cover up that weakness, eventually get back into this game. But now, right now we saw Huni win the 1v1 duel against Soaz.
A very key problem for Origin in this game has been the ability to predict what's going to happen in 1 minute or 2 minutes. They've been very bad at setting up vision before they wanted to fight for something, before the push was coming from Fnatic. So they never had any wards behind them to set up a flank. They allowed Fnatic to move in and set up Barons in advance, and then suddenly against Victor Gangplank, you're never gonna fight for that objective. And that has just been a little bit too easy then for Fnatic to take over these objectives.
Even with one less side stone, Fnatic overall has had better vision than Origin this game. Origin in the mid lane now. Reckless is in the top lane though. He has to base, so mid lane Nifter is open from earlier. Niels does a whole lot of damage.
He does. He's hitting it down. Fnatic are a little bit split up, so inhibitors dropped below 50%. Huni has actually upgraded that cannon barrage all 3 times. Regurgitate throws a minion. The Keg's gonna find the slow, and the Chum the Waters will not find a target. It will actually knock Huni back on the outer edge, but Origin are looking for the defensive play. Big crits onto Reignover. He gets eaten by Yellow Star, and that's the retreat. Cannon barrage is used. That's a very big ability. Vithy holding on to the Fisher as Niels is gonna eat a javelin.
Look how strong Nils is with all the shields onto him. He's staying in the front line. Fnatic needs to chain those barrels onto him and then apply some damage from the Victor, and suddenly he's dead in a few seconds. If they don't, Nils can still be the hero of Origin.
And Niels reminds me of the way Uzi has played at times, you know, says it, I have to carry this game, I'm gonna walk forward, I'm just gonna aggressively dodge these skill shots and return damage onto you if you happen to miss. But so much pressure right now on the rookie of the split. And honestly, yeah, first LCS split for him. It's performing pretty well so far.
Fnatic paying Origin the respect they deserve. Despite the lead, despite 2 Barons, despite the Dragons, we're approaching 40 minutes, and they've been unable to close it out. This is the longest game of the series, and we're seeing some interesting turns. There's a more of Malmortius on Niels Tristana.
And Niels picking up the Malmortius says, I'd rather dodge some poke, have an extra magic damage shield here because I don't need the last whisper to kill my targets. Very few armor items picked up overall across the board. Only Zhonya's really on the release from Reignover. So yeah, itemization. Very weird build. Very rare that you can see that and still be efficient.
Yeah, coming in fairly late for him, obviously, this time around. Already have the 3 core items.
Yeah.
But we see Baron now coming up. 30 seconds. Let's see if Origin learned from the last time where they allowed Fnatic to move in. They have the time now to push up mid. Looks like they just want to fight for that inhibitor instead.
And so,
all 5 members of Fnatic are nearby, though.
Soaz has teleport as well, so he could pull a wave up in that bottom lane. Chaining the Kegs together, Mithy's gonna take some of it. Amazing is being hurt by the cannon barrage with all 3 upgrades. Niels has used that rocket jump defensively. Reignover gonna switch back. Not gonna find the target with Javelin, but here comes Soaz. Maybe this is where he can find a
There's a ward above Fnatic though. He can teleport out if Fnatic commit to their jungle. Fnatic rotating to the Baron.
Amazing is back in base now. He has home guards. He's gonna rush back here to fight for this Baron. Fnatic though, they're so quick at taking down.
They really, really are. Baron's below half already. Soaz throws out Chum the Waters. It does connect onto Reignover.
Denied.
Reignover will get eaten as well, but now it's Origin. They've lost another Baron. They will get themselves a few kills maybe on the way out. Reignover's looking for more defensive flash from Huni. Powder Keg goes down. Baron number 3 to Fnatic.
Origin said, let's rush up the mid lane, try and get an open team fight. And then we saw the poke landing, I think a barrel connected or maybe a spear from Reignover onto Amazing. Dropped him so low, and suddenly everything fails. You have to back away, and then Baron goes over to Fnatic again.
Origin keep rolling the dice on trying to stop these Barons instead of simply trading it for an inhibitor, somehow getting some advantage. Even with their jungler in base, they still try to stop that Baron. In my opinion, a mistake. Obviously can't fault them for it. High pressure situation here. Final game possibly for them in the finals.
Despite all of the experience on the Origin lineup, it is still their first LCS split. This is the #1 team in Europe, Fnatic, that is being challenged by what is undoubtedly the second best team, but Origin have only had enough in the tank for that one game. Look at the positioning. Origin are pushing up, but Fnatic, they're actually moving in towards the top lane of Origin's base.
Realizing for Yellowstar at least, they have to go back. Don't risk a base race
Against Tristana.
against Tristana, and at this point, you're 10,000 gold ahead still. But we keep seeing how difficult it is for both teams. Oh, Soaz is going in!
Hooney's
Hooney
down! He's dead! Origin have got themselves a minute and 5 seconds. Reckless, though, is pushing up in the top lane. It looks like Peck is there to deal. What can Origin get from that kill?
Dragon!
Damn! Is that all? 5v4 for another minute. They'll happily take Dragon for 6-minute timer to Aspect.
Yeah, you get Dragon number 4, you wait out the Baron buff. Hooney walked in to stop the recalls. Didn't see who was nearby, but again, he's full damage. I mean, you're gangplank here, you're not a tank. So he goes down so quick, and these fights, even though it's 10,000 gold for Fnatic, or even a little bit less now, it is still so even. A little bit more we should add in. Because one bad team fight, and suddenly Nils will pentakill you.
Yeah, but you don't need a team fight for a potential inhibitor. Peck is making his way up. Origin have got 20 seconds if they're willing to commit.
There's no flash on Febiven. OG has track of that. This will make this fight a lot easier. Niels has to be careful. The one laser and R is enough to simply one-shot him. Inhibitor is exposed. Gravity field went down, so that's out of the equation. Shield went up from Mithy. Disengage is needed.
5 seconds before Hooney can spawn. He has teleport, and there are wards behind Origin. This could be a one-team fight if Hooney's the one that TP's in. He's spawned up, and he's pushing towards a lane.
But Hooney, it's so difficult for him to TP in because he's so squishy. We just saw it before, how quickly he drops. It's about getting that barrel connected, but Mithy's there to block some of the damage and make sure Nils is always safe. Look at the damage he's dealing, and look how confident he is because he has so many shields.
This late in the game, one more mistake is going to cost it. Powder Keg is down. Fnatic have used the barrage. Mithy used the Fisher. Those are important ultimates. Big crits coming in from Niels again. Rainover is just taking auto attack after auto attack. Origin still looking for their inhib. They have not found it, and Baron will wear off shortly.
Niels is playing fantastically, sidestepping the barrel, gets the inhibitor, dodges a spear, barely gets hit, but doesn't matter. He had the shield from the lifesteal item, Bloodthirster, staying alive, and he's playing so confident.
Origin get the inhib, and they get out. That will continue to stall the game as we hit 45 minutes.
So let's see now. No Dragon, no Baron alive. Next one is going to be big for Origin. We know Fnatic is putting all the focus on the Barons, but really one more team fight will decide the game.
Niels is basing with 2.7k gold, sells a Dorans.
PD.
Picks up a Phantom Dance. That's going to make him even more nimble. He's really dodging these skill shots, not only dodging them, but aggressively sidestepping, returning some damage in the process. If eventually Fnatic reads that though, and aim his skill shot, say forward, left, and he steps into it, he can immediately die, but yeah, he has to hard carry this game. At this point, composition completely built around him. Soaz is not strong enough, is not even flanking. So all eyes are on Niels.
So double attack speed in terms of your items, even 3 of them with your boots. You have Ardent Sensor from Peke. You have your own rapid fire. You're gonna cap out on that attack speed and just spam away whenever you get onto one target. And Fnatic, they know you cannot just walk in close to him. You need to connect some long-range poke and see if you can one-shot him for it. Because Tahm Kench, he needs 3 stacks before he can do anything offensive.
There's a shield from Pekka right now. There's a shield from our Mimoshius. He has a shield from the Bloodthirster. And if all that fails, Mithy will just throw his life in front of Niels, try and block as much damage, disengage with Unbreakable. And Glacial Fissure. So overall, the potential is there, but one misstep is all it takes for Origin to lose this game.
Neither of these teams have been in this position very often, but Niels, he's going to look for more. He gets some hits onto Reckless. Reckless will sustain a little. That was a wild growth from Peke, already used. Mithy is going to hop up to the minion. That's important. No flash on Reckless. Origin, they're still committing to the lane with the super minions.
They're rushing up here. They know where Fnatic is. They know Reckless got poked down a little bit and used the Summoner. Gonna use the minions to at least shove it in towards the Nexus turret. Remember how fast Niels can kill these towers.
We'll find out as Origin have got positioning on the Nexus. They've got the charge down, a few hits. That's gonna be a Nexus turret and a couple more autos. That's one down. Niels, one more stack. Will may be enough to get an acquired taste. Javelin toss will connect. Powder kick.
Oh.
Massive damage onto Origin. They're in full retreat. That's the Valkyrie forward, aggressive from Reckless. That unbreakable shield from Mithy is doing so much work. Cocoon doesn't connect. but the concussive blows maybe do. Niels is very, very healthy. He has flash, heal, and buster shot. There are tools to work with.
Keep your eyes on Fevin though when he returns from base. If he can flash aggressively, land that Chaos Storm, it could be enough to take the game home. But just very bold positioning. 50 seconds on the Dragon.
50 seconds, Dragon Baron. Again, same thing. Doesn't matter at this point.
Doesn't matter at this point. Objectives.
Big worm, go kill it. Origin though will set up for it, even though they have barely any wards. They're gonna set at least 2 wards behind it for a flank for Soas to come in, even though we keep seeing how he's fighting as well. He has a Guardian Angel, so he can dive in and buy time for Niels to deal damage. Double Phantom Dancer.
In place of the Shiv.
Yeah, Shiv sold for Phantom Dancer. So much mobility coming out overall from Niels here. It's definitely gonna hit the attack speed cap, but
He's gonna crit on everything.
all that matters is that he dodges these skill shots and returns the damage.
The only member of Origin that's not been in these sorts of positions is Niels. He doesn't even have all the support of his team, but again, he's finding targets to chunk down. Baron has spawned. Origin have positioning, I feel, a little better than the 2 previous ones, and if they peel back for Dragon, they may be able to get Aspect as well. Is that a defensive flash from Featherman? Yes, it was. So the flash Chaos Storm to just one-hit Niels is no longer an option. Origin, they have to pick. Do they want Baron? Do they want Aspect? Where should they prioritize?
Why not both?
Oh, wow! Niels just crits down Rainover.
That's gonna be at least the Dragon now. 5 Dragons for Origin. Go to the Baron next then. Pick up that one and just take that last team fight. You have a Tristana. You don't even need to fight. You just need to put Niels in a position to hit towers and he will take them down for you so quickly and force Fnatic to engage.
Origin is 12,000 or 14,000 gold behind Fnatic right now, but they're playing as if they're 15,000 head. Aspect goes down. Rainover is still dead for 45 seconds. So a 5-Dragon team for Origin is heading to Baron with the enemy jungler down. Watch for Victor damage though. He needs to get close, but the Fnatic is too afraid. This might be just an uncontested Baron. And Origin, could this be the upset?
Again, Cannon Barrage not going to be lucky enough. Origin, the first Baron of 4.
That was close. I don't think Amazing was there to smite it. And Huni tried to steal it. That happened? Oh, that would
This roof would have been torn off.
Pekka finished it off with his E ability, which is roughly 450 damage. Risky. I like it.
We are getting to 50 minutes into the game. The 3 previous games were done in 31, 32, and 34 minutes. And Fnatic not using the first 2 Barons to a level that we're used to seeing from them could potentially have been what has hurt them. Origin have peeled all the way back. They've got both buffs, and they're looking for one more fight.
Sitting up in the bush here, Huni. I'm really looking at him and how well he can use those bells because he has been able to connect them onto Niels. And Rainover can't jump forward. Tam Kench ulti coming in the back.
Glacial Fisher is going to at least be trying to split people up. Powder Keg is there. Soaz will find the inhibitor once more. Baron empowered minions. There's only one Nexus turret standing in his way. If Soaz pulls Fnatic, Origin can take towers top.
This is an exciting finish here at the end of this game. Niels hard carrying, Soa split pushing mid. They even stopped building the Harbinger because he doesn't even have to give more crit to Niels. He's critting on literally every attack right now.
Soaz is still trying to play second fiddle distraction in the middle. You can see Origin, they're onto the inhibitor turret up top.
But look at this, the Origin, they don't have to fight because you're taking down the towers so easily. Rainover had to use the outlast. Source, he's dropping down.
But it doesn't matter if they can get another inhib. GA has been popped. They're not going to focus the inhibitor though. Origin going to keep using that buff up.
And Source will have teleport ready. Going back to base now, get full HP, can get a home guards as well. Should have enough gold at this point. But no Guardian Angel means he needs to be careful when diving forward. But really, again, these fights, it's about Niels against the world.
And look at the bottom lane. There are so many minions in favor of Origin. There's a teleport available for Soaz if he needs it. Inhibs down below half. Supers making their way up through the middle. Look at those cannon minions. Inhibitors being focused down. Cannon barrage is back up. There's the TP from Soaz. He back to buy, and he's trying to make his way in. But Niels is sidestepping everything. Another inhib will fall, and Fnatic, they have to defend their last Nexus turrets.
There's just no way for Fnatic to engage the fight here in Origin. They know it. They keep disengaging every single time Fnatic moves forward and they just take down towers, they're thinking exactly the same. We don't even need to risk a fight. We're just gonna take your base.
Look at the damage. We're going to see Yellow Star nomming Rain over. That'll keep him alive a few seconds. Inhibitor comes down. Uni's down. Niels is looking for more. Defensive flash from Rain over. They've got another inhibitor. Baron empowered super minions onto the last Nexus turret. Origin in the 4th game after 15,000 gold down and giving away 2 Barons. They're going to force game 5. They're going to play Silver Scrapes and they're going to make the summer finals go all the way.
That man on your screen, Nils. It was all about him in the late game, but also what could Mithy do to protect him, what could Pekka do to protect him. They worked so well as a team. And we just gotta say, Fnatic could not find an opening, didn't manage to chain the barrels from the gangplank, couldn't get any flanks going because, like, your tank was the Tahm Kench. And obviously he cannot be offensive, you need to apply those stacks. It didn't work, and therefore Origin in the end grinded out despite being down almost the entire game.
Fnatic was still 7,000 gold ahead at the end of that game. Just fantastic, just composure from Origin right now. They did what Fnatic did to so many teams